Whether you're an academic, a socialite, or something in between, the internet consumes you. It's a necessity in our everyday lives. And because of you, top websites are making the big bucks. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, is worth $19 billion. Not impressed? Try counting to that number and it would take you 602 years. So naturally, I told my 14-year-old self, I want a piece of the action. How hard could it possibly be to throw a website together? So one day, instead of doing Mr. Robinson's math homework, I told myself, it's website time. I grabbed a jar of pretzels, plopped into my favorite chair, and opened up my screen. Staring at the laptop for a couple minutes, I finally said, how do I do this? I did what almost any high schooler would do. I Googled how to make a website. And I found out that websites require coding, and believe me, I was no programmer. Actually, in order to create a website, you have to learn at least 3 programming languages. But don't worry, I'm not going to talk about the specific details behind coding, because if I talked about HTML 4.0 and transitional doctype override command, half of you would fall asleep, and Liam would end up playing Fun Run for the next 3 minutes. I'd much rather give a broader overview and demonstrate how I use the tools I learned. So here I was, trapped in a corner. I had no programming skills, and my imagined dollars were slowly vanishing. Although BB&N offered a computer science course, it was not geared toward web development. I would have to put a little more time into this project than I originally expected. I had kind of been hoping for a short-term investment. But after finding some helpful videos on w3schools.com, I understood the basics of the basics. In short, I said, screw the 3 programming languages, I'll make do with just 1. So I learned HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language. But I swear the inventor of this name just wanted to sound smart. Hypertext is a fancy word for online text and links, and the markup part of the acronym refers to putting the words and links on the web page. At this point, my overall knowledge was still limited, though. All I could really do was stick words and links on a web page, so I made a current events blog. I quickly found out that no one wanted to visit adam-carlson531.net. I also learned that good domain names, ones that end in .com or ones without random numbers, cost a whole lot more. It was a complete failure. Not to mention, because my blog had no stylistic features, it looked pretty sketchy. The whole website was in black and white, and it only had one article about a minor earthquake in Tibet. To make matters worse, someone hacked my system and started posting racy ads in the top corner of my website. Basically, it was time for some changes, so I did the unthinkable. I learned another website language, CSS this time. It stands for Cascading Styling Sheet. Cascading usually refers to a waterfall-like motion, and in CSS, a programmer first makes a general styling scheme. This represents the top of the waterfall. This styling scheme then flows from the top into many places throughout the website. And believe me, I have no idea where they come up with this stuff. But nonetheless, I dolled up my blog, eye-popping colors, designs, patterns, and I still got no visitors. By the end of freshman year, I made $250 negative dollars. I had bought and maintained the website, putting me in the hole. And to my 9th grade self, this was a huge blow. All I could picture was 50 Mama Goose subs down the drain. I just wasn't doing something right. Then halfway through sophomore year, it hit me. Facebook connected people across the world through chats, pictures, and videos, and my site just talked about random earthquakes. I had to bridge the gap. Mustering some real willpower, I learned JavaScript. This final language taught me how to add functionality to the website. I turned my blog into a place where people could send anonymous emails to friends asking what they want for their birthdays. I finally got my first visitor, too, and I just knew it was time for my big payout. But I'd never planned this far in advance. How do websites even make money? Well, the answer turned out to be predominantly ads. Many companies such as Google pay to put their ads on your website, and you get paid based on the amount of clicks each ad receives. However, I quickly learned that you cannot repeatedly click on your own ads to make money. I got a less than kind email saying it was a federal offense. But before I could profit, the gift idea fell apart. Apparently, no one wanted to respond to the anonymous emails. So after 4 years, I finally know the basics behind a website. But despite my original monetary ambitions, I've actually enjoyed learning this stuff. But unfortunately, I've only been able to prove my initial point. It's not that hard to make a website. However, as with most things, it's difficult to make one well. Thank you.